everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I'm back today with the final installment of my bead and jewelry making storage series. So this time we're going to tackle another topic, and that is how I store my finished jewelry pieces for selling online. I don't really do any selling in person. Even pre-pandemic, I was more of somebody who started out selling on Etsy and then eventually branched out from there and sell on my website. So just giving you that information if you don't already know, in case you are somebody who plans to do a lot of craft shows when things open back up, your ideal storage situation may be a little bit different than mine. Also, I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it. I'm just sharing what works really, really well for me in hopes that this helps some of you out there. And if you are looking for a way to organize your finished jewelry and store it in such a way that you know where everything is and it doesn't take up a huge amount of space, I highly recommend trying out this solution. So this is more of a further back view. The last row of that stacking storage unit, that is where I have my finished jewelry, as well as the two small containers on the top. Now, storage evolves over time, as you know, so as things change, as I have more things or less things, this may change a little bit over time. So I just wanted to give you a look at where I store these pieces a little bit further back before I slowly start to get a little further into it, show you what's inside, specifically those storage containers, and then dive into how I store each individual piece. I will leave the links to all the products that I'm sharing today down below the video if you're curious about anything, whether it's the storage units, the bags, the labels, anything and everything that I share with you today. I will leave links to down below the video, and you can also see more in the blog post. And if you haven't seen the other videos in the storage series, I'll leave links to all of those down below as well. They're also a part of a playlist. So I love this storage system that has the stacking boxes, and it's got these doors that open up. They're very lightweight. Once you figure out how to put them together, they're super easy. They take no time at all. And they're advertised as shoe storage boxes, but they've actually worked wonderfully for a lot of my bead storage needs and now finished jewelry. I have my bracelets and earrings in more compact containers at the top, but mainly what's inside of the containers that are stacked up with the doors all the way on the right hand side are my necklaces and finished jewelry sets. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little closer and open up one of the doors and show you more specifically what's inside. First, let me pan from top to bottom. So earrings are in that smaller container on the top. The next one houses the bracelets, and I will show you closer up looks at those in just a moment. And then as we go down, I have necklaces, I have the jewelry sets below the necklaces, and then I have all the way on the bottom my supplies for storing the pieces once they're listed. And since we're right here, I didn't show you these two containers, but I have a couple of these bins next to that. This was under the Orchid, and I have my items to put away down here. So when I get things and I don't have time immediately to put them away, I have findings on the top and more bead type items on the bottom. And that's where I throw things right away until I have time to actually go through them and put them into all of their proper places. So I just thought I'd mention that since I hadn't shown those containers in any other video, and that might help you with the things that come in immediately so they're not scattered all over the place. All right, so taking a closer look at just one of these units, I will go ahead and open up the door on this one. This is housing some jewelry sets. So as you can see, I have these bags that are stacked on top of each other with separate jewelry sets in them. The necklace is on the front, the earrings are on the back, and I will show you more about that process and what particular items I'm using to bag all these up. And then what these are the labels that tell me what number I have assigned that piece of jewelry, because that way I'm able to store everything stacked up in sequential order by number. You can come up with whatever numbering or lettering system that you want. I just have it kind of simple, like 4 dash something. If it's a 4 dash, I know it's a jewelry set. If it's a 3 dash, it's a necklace. If it's a 2 dash, it's something else. 1 dash is something else, for example. So that's just my very, very simple system. And then the numbers just keep getting larger after the dash to indicate that that is a newer item. And I just stack them up accordingly in order. And so if I have a sale roll in, I don't have to sift through a bunch of bags or a bunch of different things all jumbled together, wonder where things are. I just look at the number and that tells me right where to go. And I just pull it right out from the stack, like this one. If it's 4103, okay, great. I can just pull that right out, and that's all there is to it. Also, what's nice is the earrings are stored in the same location, just on the back of the necklace, and I'm not hunting down the corresponding earrings that go with a particular set if it's sold. Another reason I love this system and using these bags is because that keeps the jewelry pieces clean. I don't have to worry about dust or debris getting on the jewelry, and not to mention the fact that it also really helps prevent tarnishing because you're squeezing most of the air out of the bag, and that way it's just not sitting out in the open where that could be an issue. The fact that these are plastic bags, it also means that they are easy to see through and they slide really nicely one on top of each other when stacked up. And if I had them all in a bin, I would have to go through everything from top to bottom. But this way, with them in a smaller container with a door, I can just slide out the one that I need. I can see all the labels stacked up. They're not hidden to where I have to take everything out just to find one thing. So this system's really been effective, and it's made things a lot more simple and the process so much smoother when I'm looking for something. Saves a lot of time. So now that you've seen how I stack up the necklaces and the jewelry sets in those bags, let me give you a more specific look at what is inside the bags, what is holding the necklace together, and how I actually bag these up and lay them out so they don't move as much. So here's a look at that necklace that I have all bagged up with the earrings in the back of the bag. So what this is basically a 9 by 12 inch clear plastic bag. I bought these in a pack of like 100. I also use this white magazine board. It's a little bit thicker than cardstock, and it's really helpful for keeping the necklace laid out nice and neat and straight. You can just keep everything tacked down to that board like you can see. And then I just got a big pack of this really skinny washi tape in all different colors, and I use that to just in different places tack down the necklace onto that magazine board. I like the washi tape because it's really gentle and it's jewelry friendly. It peels up nicely. And then what I do is I reuse all of these things for the next piece. So if this item sold, I would take the finished jewelry out of the bag, and then this bag gets reused, the magazine board gets reused, and if I wanted to, I could even reuse the little tab. So that's broken down what's inside of the necklace bag. And with it flipped over, you can see I just have it tacked down a little bit on the back too, and then there is the other bag that is holding the coordinating earrings. So as far as the earrings go, I pretty much store these the same way, whether they are in a set or if they're standalone, they don't go with a set as far as what's in the bag. So what you're looking at is more of a like 3 by 5 inch zip top plastic bag. Again, easy to see through, keeps everything sort of airtight. And inside of that, I have the earrings that are actually put on one of these cardstock gift tags. So I buy the gift tags like this. You can get everything pretty much on Amazon very easily. These particular ones are lever back, so I just punched out a couple of holes for these. But in order to punch holes, you've probably seen this before if you've been around a while. I've shared it a couple times on my videos, but I use this 1/16 inch hole punch to punch out the little tiny holes to turn these into earring cards. Put on my earrings, then I will take a couple of the little rubber stoppers if they are a fishhook style or something like that if I need to, and I will put the stoppers on the back. That way they're all ready to go to. Usually when I ship them, they come shipped in one of these plastic bags as well as on a card with the stoppers included. So bringing over that container that was on the top of that shelf, this is the smallest one. This holds my earrings that are standalone, and it's kind of the same type of thing. Since they're a smaller item, they would get a little bit more messy in the larger container. So this is just a smaller container I had on hand. everything's labeled with the label on top. So if I am looking for, say, 1-096, well, I know exactly where it is because the label's right there and all of the numbers are in order. So I would just pick that up, easily find it, it's all intact and ready to go. And again, I can just ship it with the earrings right in the bag, just like that. So time saved there. And there's a look at the side view of the container. You can see how they are just one in front of the other, single file. And if I need to, I can graduate to a longer container or something else. But that's how I'm storing them at the moment. And finally, let me just give you a peek at how I store the bracelets. So right now I have the bracelets stored in this container that I've had forever, a long time. And it's just something that I had around and it worked out well. So that's something else I recommend. Look around, see what you have first before you feel like you need to go out and get anything. But this holds the snack size zip top bags really well. And that's what you're looking at here. I could have put the labels on the top in this container, but this is something I kind of decided on after the fact. But still, it's okay because all of these items are in here sequentially. So as long as I know it's going from, say, the larger number all the way down to the smaller number, I can generally find what I'm looking for pretty easily. So here's one example. Here's a bracelet that I have bagged up. This isn't how I would ship it. And I don't ship the necklaces that way either. I put these in nice cardboard jewelry boxes with the little gauze pad, makes them look a little bit nicer. This is simply for storing. So what I have in the snack size bag is a piece of white cardstock. Again, this was just something I had and that's what I started working with and it's worked really well. This is folded up. I first fold it in half and then I fold it in thirds. So it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And by folding it, it gets it to this size that fits really well in, say, a 6.5 by 4.25 inch snack size bag and makes storing these bracelets a little bit more compact. The folding also gives the backer to the bracelet just a little bit more bulk. It thickens it up. But as you can see, I've just used the washi tape once again just to hold that simply in place on the card so it's sitting nice and straight. And then a label there to tell me which number this is when I'm going looking for it. There's a look at the back, just how I have the clasp kind of curled around there with the washi tape holding that securely. And that is a look at my process for storing finished pieces. It's pretty simple, it's very effective, easy to find all these materials, and a lot of these things you can reuse. So again, I'll have links as well as a blog post which will have all the different sizes of bags, the labels, the tabs, the earring cards, the hole punch, everything I shared today will be in those locations if you're looking for them. And also, very importantly, if you have any great tips to share about how you store your finished jewelry, please feel free to share down below the video because we can all learn from each other. And what works for one person doesn't always work for another, so maybe there's some other tips and tricks you can share for those out there who are looking for a different solution. Also, if there's anything I forgot to mention or anything else you'd like to say, please feel free to leave me a comment about that down below. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If you found this video enjoyable and or helpful and maybe a little bit of both, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it and I'd love to have you as a subscriber, so feel free to hit that button while you're there and that way you'll be notified when I'm posting new content. Well, that wraps up the storage series of videos I have for you, but I have a whole lot more topics and things to talk about as time goes on, so I hope you'll stick around. In the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and as always, happy beading.